Welcome back for another video. Almost feels like it's been an international break, especially after the winter schedule where we had non-stop games. It was 49 points out last game week, that was a red arrow to 57k. A fairly positive end to the game week with Raya and Timber keeping the clean sheet. Liverpool failed to test the keeper in the league for the first time in 16 years. That said, it wasn't really a good showing by Arsenal. I think Liverpool were overall the better team there, so I'll absolutely take the 0-0 with the clean sheets despite the Saka blank. O'Reilly, a surprise bench, and despite Vardy and Ruben's injuries, he's just played so much he needed the rest. Ait-Nouri was also back in the squad for City as they knocked Newcastle out of the cup, so he could be a concern now, so I think he's on the possible sell list soon. Blanks across the midfield as well, but the most painful moment of the week was Sunderland. They win the penalty, and I'd said on past videos that one of the reasons Lafay came in wasn't just to help fund Ekitike while letting me keep Thiago, but because he had free kicks and penalties. So he takes the penalty and he goes for a Panenka, which Kelleher collects comfortably. The difference between the green and the red arrow was that one kick of the ball, so it was a 0 pointer for him. One thing I should re-emphasise though is that I almost sold Thiago for Ekitike and then realised at the time that I could actually have both Ekitike and Thiago if I was to buy a midfielder for 4.9 mil and under. So although last game it was a bad one for Lafay, he has actually been great in other ways, if that makes sense. So kind of a good reminder though, isn't it, like how much luck's involved in this game, especially if you've had an unlucky season so far. Just don't forget that it's a game of variance and randomness, and you can make perfectly fine decisions and get the wrong outcome like that. He'd been scoring penalties early in the season, but not this time. He did take their first penalty in the League Cup as well for Sunderland in the shootout, so perhaps he's still on them first choice for now. Let's have a quick look at how you got on, and then some exciting news to share as well. Louis says, Brentford triple up once again coming in clutch. So we had Kelleher 13, Collins 13, and Thiago's 12. So that's 38 points from Brentford assets alone, 75 points all out, huge week. It was definitely one of those weeks where there was a line drawn straight down the middle, and if you had the likes of, Collins, Bruno G, Kelleher, Thiago, then you're probably alright. Otherwise, yeah, the template picks flopped for the most part. Zax didn't have as much luck with less than half of Louis' points and says no explanation, 35 points all out. Cielo with that -1 as well after the 17 pointer the week before, Låbakk 8 pointer on his bench. FPL Rustborn says masterclass on the pitch but disaster class on the bench. He had Dubravka, Mane, Wilson and Låbakk bench for a 29 point bench. The biggest score of the week goes to Jeff, who finished on 78 points. He had Kelleher, Keane, Gabriel, Bruno G, Wilson, Thiago and Haaland, who all returned for him. So yeah, the exciting news. I've spent a few days now during this break redesigning the team selection videos, which I think you'll agree looks much better now. Plus it's got way more information shown, so the videos have gone up another level. These are some of the team selection layouts over the years. Some of these are going to be a proper throwback for those of you that have been subscribed for at least a few years. Anyway, here's the new layout. Starting off in goal, which is Raya, and he's playing Forest away. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with Raya. I don't think he's great for points per million, especially when you compare to other keepers. And if you give me any Arsenal triple up right now, it'd be Timber, Gabriel, and then one of Saka or Rice. But I just think 2 transfers to swap Raya to Gabriel, I'm really struggling to justify, especially when there's other moves that are higher upside and more of a priority. I'm not actually sure which keeper I'd want either if Raya was getting sold to free up the Arsenal spot. The back 3 is Mukiele, Timber and Van Dijk. Long-time subscribers will remember used to have the fixtures under the player cards, which are back now. They do give you useful context because you can sort of see who's getting started and which upcoming game weeks, and also you can kind of see who could be a sell soon. Mukiele looks great for another 3 game weeks: Palace home, West Ham away, Burnley home, and then he does have Arsenal and Liverpool, but again in his case he's cheap enough where I'll probably bench him. Palace home next for Mukiele. Rather than the 2 transfer Raya to Gabriel play, I'm likely to make the more efficient route, which is swap Timber to Gabriel. I'll talk more on transfer plans in a moment. The reason I'd love to have both Timber and Gabriel though is the fact that Timber's upside is still huge. Like, he's the top defender in the league for expected goal involvement. In fact, he's had 6 big chances this season that have fallen to him as well. He has missed all 6, but still. I could play even more efficiently and just not buy Gabriel at all and back them to score similarly, and I'll save another transfer, but I just don't think I can do it to myself. Like, the stress every time Arsenal will get a free kick or a corner, and obviously he's ridiculously high ownership as well, Gabriel. I do think in FPL often doing nothing is better, especially when it leaves you an extra transfer, but it is a bit of a balancing act, and sometimes there's times where it's probably worth not being too passive, and that's kind of where I'm at with Timber to Gabriel. There's going to be fluctuations, but over the season, Gabriel should outscore Timber significantly enough to justify making that move. On the Gameweek 22 clean sheet odds, Liverpool are top with a 50% chance, and then it's Arsenal 44%, Villa 40%. So I'm well invested in the top two with 3 defensive assets there. Van Dijk I'm going to likely keep for another few game weeks, and then when he's got Man City it could be Munoz that comes in. The fixtures line up perfect there. So when Van Dijk's got Man City, Munoz has got Brighton away, and then he's got Burnley home and Wolves home. In midfield it's Cunha, Foden, Saka and Lafay. Quite the set of underperformance those 4 lately. Cunha, Foden, Saka, Lafay. Cunha's home to City as well, which probably isn't too bad actually given their defensive injuries. And if you're low on transfers, I don't think it's that bad if you've got to keep him. Though after the Man City game he does have Arsenal after that, so he's going to be leaving the team this week. I'm losing some confidence in Foden minutes long term. Obviously he's on a bit of a dry spell as well, but after that Semenyo signing, there could in theory be games where he misses out and Doku, Cherki and Semenyo start. Whether you like them or not, leaks and team news are a big part of the game now, and there's a good chance that we get some early team news on City assets during the deadline stream on Saturday, given they do have the early kickoff, and likewise there could be news on the Liverpool team and lineup, so I'm not going to be doing anything until Saturday morning. Saka to Rice, another transfer that's just too luxury right now, and I don't really need the money either. I can basically afford all the players that I want regardless currently. At the time of recording, Chelsea versus Arsenal is the final cup game that's going to be played before Gameweek 22, where I'd like to see Saka rested in favour of Madueke perhaps, but I wouldn't honestly be surprised to see a Saka start, and probably an almost full strength team put out by Arteta. So close to greatness with Lafay, 5 points and then a 4 pointer after buying him, and it would have been like 8 or 9 pointer if he'd buried that penalty. Only 1% owned as well, so that would have been absolutely massive, proper differential that basically no one's got. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention earlier as well, that was my 6th missed penalty of the season. 6 penalties missed in my team. So I've had Bruno twice, remember that earlier in the season, and then it was Haaland, Thiago, Semenyo and Lafay. I'd be top 10k if all those penalties had gone in. Up front it's Thiago, Haaland and Ekitike. I was delighted to see Ekitike back in the Liverpool squad as they beat Barnsley 4-1, and on top of that he got a goal and an assist off the bench. Verts also came away with 1 goal, 1 assist that game, and Szoboszlai scored as well. Can Ekitike redeem himself this game week? If there's any fixture, it's got to be Burnley home. Over the last 6 game weeks, no one's got a higher non-penalty expected goal involvement than Sharda's 4.86, but remarkably, second is Thiago over that run with 4.26, so it's 2 Brentford players that are top over the last 6. It is a difficult fixture, obviously Chelsea away, but as a lot of you quite rightly pointed out in the transfer plans video, I've got to start him. Even with a good bench depth this week on current form, Thiago starts. Maybe Chelsea having to play a few days before the game will play into Brentford's hand as well. I'm going Haaland captain this week. He's got a very good record against Man United as well. In 6 matches he's got 8 goals, 3 assists. I remember on his debut season captaining him versus Man United for that 3 goals, 2 assists match. Liverpool are top for projected goals this week on 2.6, and then Newcastle 2.0, and then it's Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, Man City and Spurs all on 1.9 goals. So I guess there is a case for Ekitike captain, but his minutes just feel a bit less assured. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like 70-75 minutes, plus no penalties, so it's Haaland captain for me. On the bench it's Dubravka, Anderson, O'Reilly and Barr. 4 free transfers, and it's time to spend a couple now. I don't really see Timber to Gabriel as a significant upgrade, though Gabriel is better. He's averaging 7.5 points per match, Timber 5.2 per match, which is still among the best, but Gabriel's just another level right now. I mean, Gabriel's even been great for Defcons as well, so he's just far too good to ignore any longer, so Timber to Gabriel is happening. And the second move I'm looking at is Cunha to Gakpo to free up the money needed there. Liverpool top of the projected goals this week, as I said, and I just want an extra slice of that attack which he gives me, and I think he's the perfect short-term play when Cunha's got City and Arsenal, and then he'll leave the team in Gameweek 24 for Palmer or Enzo to catch Chelsea's fixtures. With 4 free transfers, I'm able to go for a differential like Gakpo. Last game week, he was 0.23% owned around my rank, even lower than Lafay by like a quarter. That is ridiculously low for a player that's got Burnley home next. It'll be a bit higher, but I don't think significantly much more. And he's actually posted pretty respectable underlying numbers. 7.6 non-pen XGI this season despite having an injury. That's more non-pen XGI than all the following players: Wirtz, Cunha, Semenyo, Cherky, Wilson and Bowen. So yeah, that's the plan. Now if there's some early team news like Foden doesn't start, I'll still be tempted to keep him and then just start Anderson, who's got a good fixture, or maybe O'Reilly, because I really want Foden for Wolves home still. So I think it will be regardless Cunha to Gakpo and Timber to Gabriel. That leaves me with 3 free transfers in Gameweek 23 where I could roll, and then I could spend 3 in Gameweek 24, which would be something like Ekitike to Barnes, Gakpo to Palmer or Enzo, and then Foden to Bruno. I'd have another spare transfer as well, which I could roll, and then it's that potential Van Dijk to Munoz week in Gameweek 25, and maybe Bar to Tavernier as well. My rank has slipped a bit the last few weeks, having not made transfers. I was 39k the last time I made a transfer, about 4 weeks ago. I'm 57k now. So hopefully this next period is a rewarding one with this added flexibility that these extra transfers have given me. Make sure you're subscribed if you'd like to follow my team this season. I'll see you soon for the next one.